set for the main event here in the Seattle Kingdom. Art Ekman and David Bailey up in the press box. And out of the qualifying heats, we saw a very fast McGrath. We saw Ezra Lusk go to the semis for the first time to make the main event. It wasn't his fault, of course. But you know, David, could Doug Henry win 2 years in a row, this time on a 4-stroke?
It's very possible, and you can't tell by looking at his face how he's feeling, because he's smiling all the time no matter what. But he is very fast here. He's comfortable in this situation with the ruts. That 4-stroke seems to be working good here. The disadvantage is that it's a little heavier, and it scrubs off some speed in the face of the jumps. It drags the dirt through those ruts. But they took a lot of time here and packed all the faces of the jumps. That's to his favor. The bike has a lot of power on the start. He's got to get out over the gate, get a decent start. I think he can pull it off. His heat race was 1 second faster than McGrath. Right, 1 second faster, Davey Combs. And I understand Team Honda has made a personnel change.
Yeah, from what we're hearing, Art, it looks like Wes McCoy is no longer at the helm of the Honda team. Now, I'm not sure if this is a permanent thing, but from what I'm hearing, it quite possibly is. Instead, Jeff Stanton, of course, a former 6-time national champion, and Cliff White, a longtime member of the Honda program, are going to kind of take the helm over. I think that Wes is going to be reassigned somewhere else at Honda, but if that's the case, at least he knows he went out a winner with Ezra Lusk last weekend.
Absolutely. As we take a look at the Suzuki point standings, Jeremy McGrath by 4, Lusk 5 in back of Emig, Wyndham, LaRocco, and Craig in a battle for 4th. Craig just off the list there in 6th place. You know, every rider goes into the season with different ideas or strategies. Now that we're into our 4th race coming up into the 98 campaign, those strategies have been somewhat altered.
It's a situation where I do need a win. I mean, we're 3 in. The 4th race is getting ready up to happen. But my strategy for this race is to get the start and be gone. It's got 2 what's going to be long whoop sections, that are going to be extremely rutted. So I think to be up front and to really charge, to really ride hard. And if you can only ride hard for 12 laps or 15 laps or whatever the case may be, really try to put down some speed.
I think strategy's out the window. I need a win. I can't be. Last year I came into Seattle in 2nd place in the points, just a couple points out of the lead, and I was looking for a good start and a podium finish. Had a miserable year so far. The only way to turn around is with a win.
I would say my biggest thing that I think about when I'm on the starting line is my start. I mean, lately I've been in the top 2, 3, which has been really good. But if you don't get a good start, it takes way more out of you to catch up. Right now, having a win would be really important, and I figure I'm really, really close. So it's going to happen here shortly.
Nothing's changed for me whatsoever. I'm a lot more confident in what I'm doing now. Kind of going into the season, you second guess a little bit what you're doing, if it's enough or if it's going to be the right quality. It's not always the quantity, but the quality. But I know for sure what I'm doing is right. And if I keep doing it and keep riding like I am, I'm going to be fine.
As the riders get off their parade lap, you see Jimmy Button right next to Jeremy McGrath as we take a look at the Suzuki starting grid and all the riders that will be participating here in the Kingdom in the 250 main event. Can Jimmy Button put on an electrifying performance like he did in the heat race? Ezra Lusk, Damon Huffman, Tim Ferry. So much talent this year to battle each other, David Bailey.
Yeah, I know we're sounding like a broken record, but it's just amazing. I was talking with Phil Lawrence after practice, and he was just saying, I feel like I've been riding good, but my results are they're terrible. Can't believe how far down the list I am with the way I've been riding. It's just that way this year. Larry Ward, another guy that was surprised by that, just saying, I don't feel like I've been riding that bad, and I'm so far back.
Jeff Emig talking things over with Jeremy Albrecht.
Well, for once, he gets to go right to the main out of the heat race, so that went well for him. I don't think he rode the way he would like to have ridden, and to tell you the truth, his results have looked pretty good, a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th. If you think that's going to continue, that would put him 5th here. He's never won in Seattle, but he definitely needs to get things turned around. He's got his game face.
Things are getting tense down there, Davey, at the gate.
Yeah, I tell you what, and I see something kind of neat here. The three Kawasaki riders, Huffman, Emig, and Hughes, are all lined up together with the champ sandwiched in the middle. And then to the right of those guys, it's the two Chaparral Yamahas. So 1/4 of the starting gate is this little squad of teams here. And, you know, if they start throwing elbows, someone's going to be mad in the trucks later.
Will Lusk make it 3 in a row? Can McGrath outsmart everyone? And on one of his most effective tracks, he has 5 wins here, 3 250s and 2 125 victories in Seattle. Or will Emig win his first race of the season? Will the 4-stroke of Doug Henry win his first race of the year as well? They're off. Our main event from Seattle, Washington is underway. McGrath number 2. Jeremy cuts to the inside. Emig, 1, bar to bar. Number 11, Jimmy Button. Oh, look at Button cut in. The teammates, Jimmy Button takes the lead. Incredible. Another commercial for Chaparral with Jeff Emig right there. Emig feels the need for victory tonight.
Oh, Jeremy coming up a little bit short on that double, but he still maintains second place. Larry Ward squirts into third. Boy, this is what he needed, was a great start.
Oh, well, that brings this Washingtonian crowd alive with Larry Ward up in the running. He's had some great runs here in his native land.
There's nothing, no better feeling than to have your best friend or your teammate and friend right behind you and in front of you. This happened with Johnny O'Mara and myself at Honda a number of times in Supercross. Getting out first and second in the race, it helps you relax.
Jimmy Button, number 11. What a year he's having. He feels no pressure with Jeremy McGrath and his teammate. They work out together. He feels he can get the knowledge and the experience from McGrath. And look at this. He's leading the race with Jeremy in second place, Larry Ward in third. They're starting to pull away from the 4-stroke of Doug Henry. Jeff Emig, and going down is Ezra Lusk. Lusk went down in the corner before the timing section. So Ezra is going to have to fight from way back. He's at least 16 positions back.
Art Button is riding fantastic. He's got a couple of lines where he's jumping all the way up over stuff. Jeremy's starting to copy it. There's another great line right there, jumping all the way over that triple. Keeps his momentum around the outside, gets a great run through the whoop-de-doos, and Jeremy's doing everything the same.
Can Jimmy Button hold on for the entire race? His style, his speed is there, but endurance-wise.
That's the scary thing. I know the speed's there, but I've seen him up front before and make mistakes. What he's got to do is ride smart. If Jeremy starts to push him hard, which I think is going to happen, he's got to be smart and decide, is second good enough, or should I try to hold him off and risk crashing and finish in 10th?
It's Button, McGrath, Ward, Henry, Emig, and Wyndham is in 6th place. You heard after the heat race, Jeremy talking about, hey, if I got to hit him, I got to hit him.
Well, I don't think you'll see that unless it's a must situation, and right now they're pulling away. Jeremy will be padding that points lead.
If something should happen to Jeremy, Button would be all clear. That would be his first AMA Series win since '94 at Daytona in a 125 ride.
Now what they have to do is continue to ride like this, just pretend like it's Tuesday, Wednesday, out at the test track. Have a good time, relax, build up a big lead, put it out of reach for anybody to catch them late in the race.
As we take a look at a tremendous battle for first place, here's Jeremy McGrath, but Button has the momentum coming back. Brown has moved in front of Emig, pushing Emig back to 6th place. Here's Jeremy McGrath on the run. Jimmy Button, number 11. Button is going to run 125s in the National Outdoors this year, with Jeremy running the 250s for Chaparral. But what a team they've put together.
Jeremy has actually stopped following the lines of Button. He was copying him at first.
Oh, a little fishtail. Jeremy tried to cut it in that time.
Right, Jeremy looks to me like he's getting impatient and he's saying, now's the time. He's starting to change up his lines and make a run at him in every corner.
Here they go. Button still holding on by a tire.
They got to be careful not to start to ride defensive with each other and slow each other down.
Button's getting so much good momentum out of the corners, but now if something happens, and look out, Jeremy was far enough away from him to stay out of trouble. McGrath is our leader.
Looks to me like McGrath was content to stay behind Button those first few laps while he was riding so well. As soon as Button started making a few mistakes, that pace starts to slow just a little bit, and Jeremy feels faster. Take over the lead and let Button try to follow him all the way to the checkered flag.
Let's take another look at it.
Button almost taking Jeremy out. Incredible balance in the middle of that whoop section full of ruts for Jeremy to not run into him, take them both out, control the inside of the corner. Now we'll see if Button can hang with him.
16 laps to go. Jeremy McGrath looking for his first victory of the season. He is the points leader, and Emig and Lusk are way back. It's Jeremy McGrath, Jimmy Button. Larry Ward is starting to pick up on Jimmy Button. It'll be interesting to hear this crowd in the Kingdome when their local favorite puts the pressure on. And coming up in back of Larry Ward is Doug Henry. Michael Brown is next. Emig, having a lot of trouble in the whoops, is passed by Wyndham and Hughes.
One mistake will cost you a couple of positions. McGrath starting to get away a little bit. Button starting to ride defensive with Ward on his tail, and Henry's right there to take advantage.
You know, David Bailey, Jeremy McGrath told us that he made a basic mistake last week with the lead, getting out, putting it at crunch time. He got into overdrive, pacing it too soon.
Yeah, I really felt like in the first 5 or 6 laps, it was Jeremy's race. And he did take it a little bit easy, and then until Lusk coming, made him a little bit nervous, and then Jeremy anticipated getting into those lappers. His arms pumped up, and everything went south. He's got to put it out of reach here.
5-second lead over second place. This is the battle for second. Larry Ward having a little bit of trouble there in the whoops in the beginning, holding on to third with Henry right on his back rubber.
And Larry Ward saying all year he's been pretty comfortable, just having a little bit of a confidence problem. Whoa! Doug Henry with a great block pass right there. They caught Larry by surprise.
So now Henry moves into the podium spot. Will Larry Ward settle for that? They put a lot of extra required practice time in this week at Team Suzuki. A strong message from Roger DeCoster. And practice is so late on Monday night, they had to run with lights. Here is the Suzuki field summary. McGrath, Button, Henry, Ward, and Mike Brown.
And you can see that the guys second through fourth, all are guys that needed to get the ball rolling, needed a good finish, a good start. They've all got it. But Henry, after this terrible mistake on the last lap in L.A., really set the tone. He's had trouble ever since. To get that good result, Ward and Brown both needed to get good starts. Behind them, it's Kevin Wyndham running about where he's been running all so far this season.
McGrath out in front. He's looking for 5 straight Seattle podiums. I take that back. He's looking for his 5th straight Seattle podium, Davey Combs.
Yeah, remember what I told you guys down the starting line about the Chaparral riders and the Kawasaki riders line up together? Well, right now, Chaparral is 1 and 2. Kawasaki is 6, 7, and 8. So looks like Chaparral got the better start there, and it's carried over way into this main event.
Jeremy told me earlier he likes his position right now, and obviously he's in first place in this race, but before the race started, he liked his position. But this sport is all about confidence in yourself.
Our whole sport has evolved around believing in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then what do you have? You have nothing. So every one of these guys out here has to believe in themselves quite a bit, because as much as people say it might be a team sport, it's not. It's an individual sport.
Our leader here in the 250 main in the Kingdome is Jeremy McGrath with his teammate Jimmy Button in second, Henry in third, Ward in fourth, Brown in fifth, Wyndham, Hughes, and Huffman the order. We'll be right back as this race continues in a moment.